Hi everyone, it's Wednesday, September 3rd. Labor Day weekend has passed us, and for those of you who are locals, you know that here at the Jersey Shore that means that summer is over. Some of you may be upset, but hopefully you had a fun, healthy, happy, safe summer vacation. I had a great summer. I had a lot going on. I was busy, working hard, playing hard, but it's all good because we are back in action this week. Everybody's back to school and we're back into our routine, and that is exactly what I would like to talk to you guys about. So what have you been up to this summer? We touched on this a little bit in my last video. I talked about summer vacation and what that means figuratively as well as literally. What is a summer vacation? But to kind of touch a bit on that and to add a little bit more to that as we go into September, I would like to talk to you all about what we've been doing this summer versus what we hope to be doing in the fall and this school year coming up. So like I said in the last video, we base our whole life and schedule on the kids being in and out of school. If you're a parent or you're a teacher, your whole personal calendar as well as your work calendar is based on the fact that school's out for summer, right? So there's a lot more to do. We have more options in the summer if we don't have school and we don't have work. Now, I was working this summer, but my schedule was different. I was a little bit more flexible. I had more days off than I usually do in the school year because I could fill up the whole weekday with students, and that's what I did. So I had long weekend every week this summer, and it was great. And I was doing a lot of the things that you guys were doing. Partying hard, right? A lot of late nights, a lot of concerts, a lot of great food, barbecues, friends, families, cool stuff going on that we usually don't allow ourselves to do during the school year because it gets too hectic. We have a lot more going on. So the summer gives us options to hang out and do cooler things. But like we touched on last time, a lot more playing and less working. So now we're back to school. So it's almost like a shock for us. We go back to school, we go back to our regular work week. For those of you who are working in Manhattan, maybe in the summer, your schedule changed a little bit. Maybe you worked more from home on Fridays. Maybe you took more half days. Maybe you were able to dress more casually. I know some offices in New York let you dress casually when it's super hot out. Maybe you took more holidays than you usually do when your kids are in school. So, all of us have to get back into a regular routine. And that's what I want to talk about. What is a regular routine? Because here's what I've learned from dealing with children who have to be on a schedule. When I was first taking classes about how to be a good music teacher, one of the things that every professor or every article that I read taught me was children thrive on a routine. Children work best when they are structured and scheduled. That is 100% true, I know from personal experience. However, I'd like to add that it's the same for adults. Adults work very well on a structure and a schedule. So all of us benefit from structure. And it depends. Some people are naturally structured. When it comes to work, I am structured. When it comes to my personal life, I'm not so structured. Everybody's different. Some people are never structured. Some people are always structured. But the truth of the matter is, regardless of what kind of a person you are, structure is good. It's a good thing. Yeah, we need to hang out and we need to have fun, but we can organize that and schedule that to make sure we get it in there, as well as all the work that we have to do. So something I've learned from teaching, and I guess from being a musician, because being a musician is the kind of job and hobby where you have to constantly be putting in work to get a result. It's not like it's something that you just have forever. You have to keep working at it to keep the skills that you have, not just to improve, just to keep the skills that you have to keep working. So I, of course, have to put myself on some sort of a practice schedule, which is hard to do when we're partying all summer. But I had to do it. If I'm a professional musician, I have no choice, right? So I have to do it. But here's something that I hear a lot of from, I'd like to just put in really quickly here. Whether you're a student of mine, a parent of a student of mine, a professional musician yourself, a teacher, my friend, or a random person who stumbled across this website, you can benefit from this. And I know that this relates to you, whoever you are. It's summer, right? We're outside, we're at the beach, we're at a barbecue, we're having dinner, we're at a concert, we're hanging out. It's like mid-August, beginning of August. We have a pile of something that we haven't paid attention to. We have so much music we have to practice. We have emails that are like crazy. And what do we say to ourselves? Oh, when it's September, we'll get back into a routine. When we're back in school, we'll get back into a routine. Okay, so we'll get back in school. How long does it take for us to get into a routine? If you're in school or you're at work and your work or your school is the same every day, that's your routine. But once sports starts, all the activities start happening, this is the week where you're kind of getting your bearings of, oh, we have soccer on this day. Oh, we have clay class on this day. Oh, I have taekwondo. I have ballet. I have my piano lesson. I have school. I have this and that. This is the week where you're figuring all of that out. So it's going to take you maybe a few weeks to get into that routine. Well, the fall sports are going to end the end of October. Okay, so maybe by that time, we're used to our schedule, but it goes by like that. So what happens in the fall? Again, this is based on personal experience. In the fall, we say, oh, you know, the holidays are coming. It's a little bit stressful. November, December, we're like crazed. Holiday season, right? Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, all we're thinking about is we just got to get to the end of December. We just have to get through New Year's, beginning of January. Just got to get to the end of January. It's winter. So we keep thinking to ourselves, after the holidays, we'll get back into a routine. Okay, so now it's January. It's February. It's snowing. We're supposed to have a really bad winter again this year. Aren't you excited? So there's going to be a lot of snow, which means a lot of craziness, a lot of school cancellations, a lot of haphazard scheduling and things going on. That gets us out of our routine. So the winter, everybody's crazy. They're either excited about the snow or they can't concentrate because they don't want to go to school. They want to stay home. All of this. It's crazy. So they say, oh, I can't wait till spring. I can't wait until the snow is all gone. I can't wait till it's warmer out. What happens in spring? Spring sports, spring fever. Children not concentrating on anything because it's sunny. And you know what? I don't blame them because we've all been cooped up hibernating. So, springtime. It's sunny out. We want to run around and play outside. Me too. We say, once we get into our spring schedule, we'll get into more of a routine. Well, let me tell you, then it's approaching the end of the school year, which is also crazy, right? We have the end of the school year, we've got to finish this up, we've got exams, we've got this, we've got that. If you have somebody graduating, that's a huge deal. You've got finals, all this stuff going on that's distracting you from the other stuff. I always say to my students, this is one of those things that you have to do, that you put on the back burner. You know, there's the stuff that you put on the back burner. Maybe practicing is one of them. But that's one of the things that you have to do. But we say, oh, once the school year is over, we'll have plenty of time. We'll have all this extra time when we're out of school to focus on practicing. And then what happens? We've come full circle. We're partying hard all summer. We get to August, we say, oh, well, once we get to September, we'll get into more of a routine. So that is sort of the long, dramatic way of me explaining to you that I have come to the realization in my life that we as a society are perpetually in a state of feeling unsettled and not in a routine. That's not good. The other thing that I'd like to point out, which for those of you who know me pretty well, you know that I talk a lot about being present. And without getting into it too heavily, to really understand what being present means is not worrying about the stuff that you have no control over. Right now I am here talking to my iPad, delivering a message to you that I think is important. That's what I'm doing right now. There's a lot of stuff I did before I did this video, and there's a lot of stuff that I have to do after this video recording is over. But I'm not really worried about it right now because it doesn't matter. This is what I'm doing. So that is a very specific way to explain what being present is. If you messed something up, you can't fix it. If there's something coming up that's stressful that you have to worry about, there's nothing you can do. Why spend your time worrying about stuff that already happened and stuff that hasn't happened yet? What about right now? So this kind of all ties into the fact that we say, oh, when it's whatever month or whatever time of year, I'll get back into a routine. Well, what about right now? Forget it. Forget the rest of August. It's fine. I'll just be unstructured for the next 3 weeks. Wait till September, then I'll get into a routine. Well, that's unfortunate. So any productivity we just forget about? Nah, I'd rather not be productive for the next 3 weeks. I'd rather not think about it. Well, I tend to do that sometimes myself, I'll admit to you. If there's something I don't want to think about, I just put it out of my mind. I'm like, I don't want to think about that right now. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's not good. You have to practice your instrument. You have to do your homework. You have to brush your teeth. You have to say please and thank you. There's stuff that you have to do in your life. You have to pay your bills. You've got to put gas in your car. You got to call your mom and say hi once in a while. You got to do all of these things. We can't just forget about everything because it's not going to help you later on. And again, if you're a kid, a parent, a friend of mine, a musician, somebody who's looking for motivation, someone who's looking for help, somebody who just wants to check out our site, you will benefit from this. Being productive now and having structure will help you with everything for the rest of your life. Why is it that I know that for a fact? Well, because I've been a musician for 25 years and I'm only 30 years old. So my entire life has been structured because of music. Just for the sheer fact that every single week for my entire youth until I was 22 years old and graduated from college, I had a lesson every week that I had to prepare for. Something that needed to be prepared to show someone, this is what I did. This is the work that I did this week. What do you think of it? So I've learned a lot. Now I'm dealing with children, which is a fascinating experience because I actually learn a lot about myself through my students. And I can maybe even be a better musician because of those things that I learned. So my question to you is, what are you going to do right now to help your productivity? We say this is the week after Labor Day, and we're getting back to school, we're getting into a routine. So I can't think about all this stuff because we're getting back into the swing of things. Well, yeah, but you're going to have to do it anyway. Why put something off when you have to do it anyway? Why not just do it right now? And also, being present is something we can all benefit from. Yeah, we might have messed up. We might have made some mistakes. We might have forgotten something we were supposed to do. Okay, well, it's a new day, and that's over. So let's worry about today. And whatever is happening tomorrow, don't worry about that right now, because it's still today. Enjoy today. The other example I use when I'm talking to my students is, you know, we're kind of in this craze right now as a society with like taking pictures everywhere we go. So like we get an awesome plate of food. We're like, oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of it. We're somewhere that we think is cool and we want everybody in the whole wide world to know that we're there. So we take a picture so we can tell everybody. Okay, yeah, we all do it, right? Some more than others. But I'm thinking to myself, don't get me wrong. I love photography as an art form. I'm into it. It's cool. However, we spend so much time worrying about capturing a moment that we don't actually enjoy the moment. I was at this concert, and one of my favorite artists is crowd surfing right close to me. Like, I'm right there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is like the coolest thing ever. And there are all these people around with their phones taking pictures. And they're fumbling to get their phones, and they're like, oh my god, I have to hurry up and get the shot. And I'm standing there, and I'm like, you people are so silly. Because I'm here enjoying this moment, and you missed it. You weren't even watching because you were so worried about capturing the moment. The moment's gone. After the moment has passed, you will never get that moment back again. The photo is a representation of that moment. It's not the actual moment. The moment's gone. So treasure these moments that we have now, right now, today. If you have school today, whether it's a full day or a half day, just because you're still getting into the swing of school doesn't mean that you can't practice your instrument or you can't do all of the things that you've been doing or should be doing. You can still go for a bike ride, you can still have a snack, you can still practice your instrument, you can still have dinner with your family, and maybe you have some time to watch some television, and whatever work you might have to prepare for school the next day, and you can still get a good night rest. There is time. There's a lot of time. Use it now while it's here. Don't put it off. So, if you're having a hard time getting into a routine, I will help you with that. I'd be happy to help you with that. I help my students with it all the time. If you are a student of another teacher in our studio, I will help you with that too. Just because I'm not the teacher who sees you every week doesn't mean that I don't want to help you. So if you're struggling, if you're having trouble practicing, if it's been a long summer of putting off practicing, that's okay. Don't give up. It doesn't mean that you can't get back on the horse. We will help you. We'd be happy to help you, as I always say. And that is the truth. Okay? So drop me a line, call me, text me, 732